Hi, welcome to this evening's class. So we're going to do it on inversions. So the first thing we're going to do is warm up. Depending on when you're doing this class, it may not be in the evening, it may be in the morning. Either way, it's important to be warmed up. So I'm just going to push back the camera here and I'm going to set myself up on my mat. As ever, have your couple of props ready, whether you're using cushions or double mats or whatever, just make yourself comfortable. I might talk you through a warm-up. I'll keep it kind of shorter this week. I know people are stuck for time, and then I'll move into the core of the class where I'm just going to demonstrate a couple of easy enough inversions, and also suggesting how we can do ones that are not so taxing, maybe ones we can do in a chair with lots of support. So the first thing you need to do is get yourself comfortable. Put yourself on the ground on your mat. I'm just going to change the position so you can see me a little bit more clearly. So I'm just going to start lying down. Depending, of course, on how your day has been, you may need extra time to stretch out the spine. If you've been doing a lot of sitting, a lot of working from home, at your desk, your spine will probably be in need of some of this kind of work. So I generally will always start on the floor with support under my head. I usually start with my knees bent so that, I have a chance for my spine to come into a more neutral position. Hands by my side. Just let myself soften and relax for a few months so I can kind of assess what's going on, how my spine is doing. Couple of moments just to center, physically just sense, well, what's happening for me. Weight of my body on the ground, weight of my shoulders, weight of my hips. Maybe some spontaneous movements might come there. If you need to maybe rock the hips, pressing the lower part of your spine into the ground, then do that. Maybe a little bit of breathing, like no harm here. A couple of rounds of complete yoga breath. Just allowing the breath to come completely into the abdomen. And really just allowing time for your body just to arrive in the space. So I would encourage you to, spend as much time as you need to on the ground in this way, arriving and really taking that space just to find your breath. It also gives you a lovely opportunity just to see, well, where am I holding the tension today? Where maybe am I holding pain if I'm holding some? And really listening. And sometimes maybe that's all you need. Going on then, we're going to warm up the spine. So I won't go on and on. If you need to spend more time, pause the video and spend as much time as you need, just, taking a bit of extra space and time. So we're going to start just with our usual warm-ups for the spine. I usually start at the base of the spine and work my way up. So yeah, just checking the angle here, but you get the idea. Press the feet into the floor and a gentle rock side to side is brilliant. Yeah, especially if you're holding a lot of tension in that lower part of the spine. Couple of pelvic circles, wonderful. Really coming into the sacrum. So allowing the breath to flow with you as well. And a couple of rocks side to side, back and forth. Slow this down, speed it up, whatever you need. I'm moving through things kind of faster today. I don't want the video to go on and on, but you can pause and, have as much time as you need. I'm trying to bring that lovely push into the floor, up into that part of the body around by the waist. So, that can be a tricky part to access, can't it? So if you want to, even sometimes I sit up and just kind of have that lovely rock. Yeah, And then I can sense that movement coming up then in between the shoulder blades. This is where the hug can be handy, or whatever, you know, feels good for you. I think the hug is great because it opens the shoulders. You may want to rest the head back on the floor. If it's too much on the neck, sometimes you can, and you can continue your rock. And then slowly bring your awareness up into the arms. Just stretch the arms back overhead. You get to sort of assess, well, what's going on my shoulders. Could be one arm at a time, two. Playing with it. And slowly bringing my awareness up into my neck and into my face. And just even just gently rock side to side, you know. Feeling and allowing the shoulders, you know, to really, you know, feel the support of the floor. And then I'm going to just gently extend maybe my right leg up towards the roof. Now, it can be handy to have a little prop here. So if you've got a little tie or a scarf, I should have brought one with me to demonstrate, but you could, you know, hook that around the foot here. And it can be a lovely, you know, way of support. I'll do that the next time. But even if you don't worry about it. Just come into circles here. Again, we're still warming up the spine, but we're kind of working with inversions already. We've got that leg up, and we're allowing that blood to make its way back down into the core. Warming up the hips, the knees to an extent, but a definite awareness of my knees, you know, as I'm coming into this lovely warm up. You could play with just allowing the leg to move away from your body and across. And of course, you know, if you've got flexibility, come all the way to the floor. On either side, pause and breathe. Again, spend a little bit more time on that if you want, and then gently draw that right leg in towards the chest, just gently pressing down. If you want to increase the stretch, lengthen that left leg away from you. Exhale, bring the head up. You can spend as long as you want here, you know, and release. And then we're just moving to the other side. So left. Again, position of the arms, you can bring them out or by your side, just support there. Arms and palms of the hands pressing into the floor. And just enjoying that lovely circle, going one way back the other, slow it down if you need to, you know, pause. You could work a little bit around the ankle as well, and then, you know, gently coming out to the side and across. Again, enjoy more time if you want there, with that leg going all the way. And all the way across. Again, play with that. And then gently bending that left knee, draw it in, extend the right leg if you so wish. Breathing out. And then bringing both legs up if you can. Give them lots of support. Again, press into the heels, point the toes. Sense the feet, you know, the feet do an awful lot of work. And again, you could come into this kind of happy baby pose. You could either hold the feet on the outsides or the inside. And again, just a gentle rock. And one up here. So again, just finishing off this section of the class with whatever you feel you need to do. It could be just a complete stretch, stretching the arms back overhead, lengthening. Definite release of the face, muscles in the face. Any time of the day, we probably don't realize how much we're holding in our faces. Squeezing and releasing, just arriving. Take your time here, pause. Sometimes when I come to the floor, I realize how fatigued I am, and I need that little bit of extra time. But if you're ready to come up now, rolling onto one side, and we're going to come up and we're going to warm up on the hands and knees. So that's around 10 minutes on the ground. So you can shorten that or lengthen that, whatever you feel is best. So just clearing your area, and we're going to work with warming up the spine on the hands and knees next. Let's turn the mirror back here. Okay, I'm adjusting the mat so you guys can see me. Okay. So on to hands and knees. So the first thing we're going to do is get ourselves comfortable, align ourselves as best we can, and I think at this point we're all pretty familiar with the alignment, but you know it's no harm to check in. So wrists in line with shoulders, shoulders in line with wrists, hips in line with knees, crown of the head in line with the tail. I'm repeating, I know, but it's good to be reminded. So today I'm going to start very organically, just with a sway of my hips side to side, just like that. Gentle rock of the hips. Okay, and then look over the shoulder, taking a breath in, come back, and looking over the other shoulder, breath in and back. And then coming back, and maybe just coming up onto the toes. We're going to come into our lovely cat-cow. So we're going to take a breath in, exhale, rounding up into our cat, gently bringing the bum back towards the knee. You can come further or less. In breath. Out breath. And again. You take your time with this, so as much time as you need. Let's try maybe 2 more rounds. Okay, so again, spend a bit more time on this if that's what you feel you need. Just going to elevate this up one. Okay, so you can see me a little bit better. So from there, from that lovely cat-cow, we can move into something a little bit more free-flowing to help us warm up a little bit. So you might just want to take a moment or two back in full kind of puppy dog stretch, so just stretching the arms away from you, letting the head come to the floor if you want, may or may not go there. And then just gently coming forward and back. Do you remember we went into that lovely upward facing dog and then back into puppy dog? So inhale, coming forward. Exhale, coming back. That's it. And just trying to get that flow really, and just to sort of warm up the joints. And, you know, really bringing your awareness back so that you feel the movement coming from your belly center as you're going forward. Yeah, and even as you're pulling back, you get that lovely sense of your middle waking up. So again, find your flow, find your rhythm. Definitely find your breath. Lovely long exhale, I find as I go back, but it might be different for you. We just try a couple of more rounds here. And then we'll just maybe change direction for a moment and just kind of go circling. So we're just inviting the joints to move here. Circling over the right hip, left hip, you know, then back the other way. Yeah, just a few circles. Again, continuing as much as you want. If you find you're enjoying that, you know, keep it going. The wrists are tired, come up on the fists and bring them down so it's a little bit easier. And then eventually, you know, from that lovely forward and back, once we're not too tired, we're going to come up into downward facing dog, which is our first inversion, essentially. The head is below the heart. Now, because we're warming up, we're taking it very slow to begin with. So let's bend the knees and allow the tailbone to kind of head up towards the roof, and just allow yourself just time just to sort of warm up in this pose. Head is below the heart. Good opportunity to release the muscles in the face. Just continue sort of moving, twisting, warming up. Maybe a good time just to sort of maybe even bend the knees, extend them up. And then remembering to take a little break as well. Come down, push back. So again, depending on where your energy is at, you might want to use that dog sequence just to help you warm up a little bit more. If you're feeling quite tired, it might feel too much. But again, it is an inversion. It's head below the heart. But when we're warming up, we come into it nice and slowly and kind of make it our own. So that's downward dog, and it's suppose we know pretty well at this point because we've covered it. So from downward dog, I'm just going to take us up, and we're just going to warm up a little bit more standing, and then we're going to have a look at a couple of the inversions, and I'll try and talk you through as best I can. Okay, so we're going to come and stand up now. So get yourself standing on your mat. Just readjust this. Just take off the socks as well. Better grip. We might just find our Tadasana pose, our mountain pose, and have a few moments just there. Move that back so you guys can see me a bit better. Okay. So finding your mountain or your Tadasana pose, and we will just hold there. We'll just do one maybe sequence just to sort of warm up our bodies. Maybe a moon salutation or something like that could be quite good, I think. So finding your feet and just allowing the soles of your feet really to press into the ground. Maybe give the shoulders a couple of circles forward and back. Legs a couple of shakes. You might even want to just rock up and down, just sort of exercising the feet a little bit, coming out to the sides of the feet, the insides. And then just finding your mountain pose, so allowing the feet to ground down into the floor, finding your ankles, your knees, tucking your tailbone under, feeling, the length of your spine, lengthening, softening the shoulders. Really bringing the hands up into prayer position. Taking a breath in. Exhale, just gliding the hands down, bending the knees gently. Inhaling, bringing the hands above. Looking up at your fingertips if you can. Then exhaling, we're just going to fall forward. The first of our forward folds, really. We're just going to hold here for a breath or so. And then we're just going to bring some movement, so it could just be a gentle sway, side to side, and gently take yourself up again. So you're just sort of checking out how the spine is. So essentially, that forward fold is an inversion. We're bringing the head down below the heart. As I said in the notes, you can do that sitting in the chair as well. So we're going to practice that again just a couple more times with awareness of the fact that we are consciously coming into an inversion, bringing the head below the heart, and then thinking about what's happening in our own bodies as we do this particular movement. Thinking about, the hormones, the glands of the body, pineal gland, thyroid gland, pituitary gland at the top there, and the parathyroid and thyroid by the throat, and then the lymphatic system, and how it supports the immune system. So, and not forcing, having something to maybe hold on to when you come to the ground, be it a cushion, be it a block. So again, finding your Tadasana position. I might just go side on this time, just putting the block down in front of me or the cushion in front of me if I want something to touch or reach when I come to the floor. Taking a breath in. And then exhaling. Nice and slowly now. I'm going to curl down very, very, very slowly, taking my time so I can really assess also what's happening in my back, as I come down. Again, our spines change day to day, don't they? Something to hold on to when I come to the floor. Just let my head soften. I need to bend my knees a bit more than do. Head below the heart. You're just noticing what you can sense, and if it's uncomfortable, when it's sinusy stuff going on, just push the feet down into the floor and come back up. Or if you're enjoying it, stay. So that particular movement can be done sitting on a chair as well. So you just sit on the chair and you just fold forward into your lap. You could put a cushion on your lap so you could fold forward on top of the cushion. A lovely, lovely restorative inversion that you can do anywhere, anytime, with the cushion. With the cushion, it just gives you that little bit of extra, support as you're folding forward. And again, those standing ones you can do at any time during the day, at home or whatever. You can, come into that conscious forward fold and maybe just hold for 3 or 4 breaths. With support, we can hold for longer. Okay, so we're going to practice one round of the moon salutation, just to warm up the body a little bit more. And I'm going to bring in a couple of twists as well, which can be nice. We did that a couple of classes ago. So we're going to find our way up to the top of the mat, have the block or something if you feel you need it. Just going to adjust this so you can see me a little bit better. I'm on my own here adjusting the screen. It's a little bit better, I think, isn't it? Yeah, okay. So coming up towards the top of the mat, bring your hands to your heart, soften the shoulders. We're using this as a way of warming up. Take a big breath in through the nose. Exhale, inhale. And we're gonna just come down. We're gonna curl down actually, like we did a moment ago. So we're still warming up. Nice, easy, easy, easy. Fold, 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 fold. Yeah. Just let the head relax, shoulders, face. Bend those knees if you need to. Let the hands come to the floor, or just let them rest on the shins or on the knees. Take as much time as you need in this forward fold. Let the head relax. And slide the right leg back. You can keep the knee up if you want, or let the knee come to the floor. You can decide depending on what you kind of need and how strong you feel and what you're looking for out of this practice. So just pause here for a breath. And then just release back up onto that right knee. Take a nice big breath in. Bring the hands up. I'm going to leave them open. We're going to look up towards the roof. Take a nice big breath in here. And release. Going to cross our right hand over onto our left knee. Bring the heel of the left hand onto the small of the back. And take yourself into a lovely twist. Remembering all of the input we had on the twist. Lengthen the spine. Breathing in, exhaling as we twist. That's it. And again, you can hold here for a couple of breaths. Twists are lovely. Invite them in whenever you can. And release back. Stepping back into your downward facing dog. So you could come back into a plank if you wanted, or just straight back into a nice soft downward dog. Adjusting the feet, adjusting the hands, let your head relax, tailbone, bend those knees, grip movement in if you fancy, don't if you don't want to. Holding maybe for, again, 2 or 3 breaths. Exhaling down onto your hands and knees, and then Chaturanga Dandasana, chin, chest, belly to the floor, pausing there, coming up, I'm out of view, I think, up into your cobra, holding for breath. Exhale, drawing the belly button back into the spine. Come back into puppy dog stretch. Back up into downward dog stretch. Holding here for breath. And then exhale, coming through with your left leg. Pausing here. And then coming up into kind of a soft crescent moon pose. And finishing the flow. So right leg coming through to join the left. And gently coming up. Taking a breath in. Exhale, release. Bring your hands down into the heart. Well done. So you might just want to pause in Tadasana just for a couple of breaths, and then we'll go into the second half of that round. So taking a breath in. Inhale. Exhale. Again, take your time curling. You might keep curling down, just really get out, that's fine. Sliding the left leg back, holding for a breath, then releasing, and coming up into your crescent moon. Exhale, release. And inviting your twist. So right hand onto the small of the back, left hand onto the side of the right knee, pushing knee into hand, hand into knee, lengthening the spine. And then release, just folding forward again, sometimes stepping back into plank. So with plank, crown in line with tail, or you can come onto the knees. But either way, we're going to come to the floor. So remember, keeping the elbows in, chin, chest, belly, exhaling to the floor, coming up into soft cobra, take a breath in, using those tummy muscles just to take you back into puppy dog stretch. Back up into downward dog stretch. And holding in downward dog for a breath or two. And then stepping through, right leg leading, or left leg, or right leg, to finish the flow. Right leg forward. Coming up into moon if you want. And then finishing your flow. Up. And finish. So the beauty of something like a moon salutation or sun salutation to help us warm up is you can do as many rounds as you want. You can do them quite slow or quite fast. It can be aerobic, get that, the blood moving and warm up the body quite a bit. So just make sure you're quite warmed up. And then we're going to move on. I'm kind of moving swiftly through the class, so by all means pause at any point. I would generally spend a little bit more time warming up. I might add another flow in just to make sure I am feeling quite warmed up before I move on to looking at some of the inversions. So we're going to look at three inversions. The first one we're going to look at is preparation for our headstand. We're going to do the preparation. Then we're going to use it. We're going to try it using the wall. We're going to have a look at an idea for handstand as well, using the wall. And then we're going to have a look at maybe shoulder stand and plow. I'll do my best to demonstrate as I can. I'm moving the camera around myself, so it's a bit tricky. So let's start with preparation for headstand. Now, again, don't feel you need to do any of this. I would suggest that you use a pillow or at least double up the mat so that you have something soft, because we'll be putting this part of the head on the ground and it could be quite a sensitive part. So grab yourself a little flat pillow or something like that. I'm going to use my little bolster back here. So just kind of a little flat pillow, I'm going to be using that so I can demonstrate it. So preparation for headstand. It's going to move this down so you can see me a little bit better. Okay, so I'm going to have the pillow there, or even not the pillow because I've doubled up the mats as well, so I don't necessarily need it. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come down into the position I would get into as if I was coming into child's pose, and definitely get myself comfortable. And we're going to explore, because some of you may have tried out something like headstand before and kind of know it's not for me. I do not like having pressure put in this part of my head. And by all means, don't attempt it. And some of you might be just curious, but we really need to protect the neck. So we're going to rely on the strength in the arms as well. So you're going to get your elbows on the floor. I might even bring you down a little bit lower. get the elbows on the floor, like that. Yeah, yeah. Okay. And forehead, and then rolling on to around here. I'm going to cup my hands around my head here like that. And I'm just going to see how this feels. So I'm not even really thinking about, you know, coming up into headstand or anything, just sensing that, you know, sense of something on top of the head there and see how that feels. Okay, so the next stage would be to come up a little bit more. So we come down, really transferring a lot of the weight onto the elbows. Taking a breath in. So hopefully you got the idea there. So we transferred a lot of the weight to the elbows, then rolled onto this part of the head, and it really gives you a good sense of, you know, whether that felt good or whether it didn't. And then we kind of came up into a variation of downward dog, came up on my toes. So, you know, essentially head down and up. I don't know if you could see me. Yeah, you could. Yeah, that's fine. So you could just give that a go and see how that felt. And that will give you a good idea as to, you know, how you are with something like headstand. Okay. So we're gonna have a look at it again, and this time we're gonna do it. I love to use the corner on the room. It's a very, very safe way of doing headstand. So I'm going to set up my mat. You can follow me as I do it. I'm going to just change the position. I'm going to bring my mat in. Sometimes the cushion might be better off just to push in, but either way, you just want to be as comfortable as you can. I'm just trying to get a good angle with the camera so you can see me clearly. So hopefully that will work. I think it should. Okay, so I'm going to come to the floor exactly like I did a moment ago, bringing my excuse me, the angle. So exactly the same. Coming down, coming quite close to the corner of the room, and making sure your head is nicely supported. Your shoulders in, coming up. Yeah, and I'm really taking my time. My elbows are really taking the support of my body here, not my head, not my neck. And then I can stay up for as long as I want, come down, nice and easy, nice and gradually, and take myself up. Very slowly, head up last. Yeah. Moving very, very, very slowly with this because it's quite a strong pose. But very safe because your whole body is really supported. So it's the only way I practice headstands myself, unless someone's there to kind of watch me. So I wish I was there to support you and show you a little bit more. I hope that demo was enough. I could come up into it again, but I think once maybe was enough to demonstrate. So you're coming into the wall, I'll move the camera a little bit closer so you can kind of have a look. I just set up my mat. When I came down, you know, I kind of shuffled in and then brought the head down. The light isn't great there, you can't really see. And then up. But again, really, really using the support of the elbows. So the elbows are really, really supporting your weight. Okay, so from there, we're going to have a look at maybe shoulder stand. I'm sorry, but all this moving around. And again, using the support of the wall for shoulder stand. Now, I'm going to definitely use a little prop under my hips. And this actually is a lovely restorative posture that you can do anytime. You can even pile up the blankets a little bit higher if you want. So it's a variation of the Greater Cooley, which is a restorative pose. It's really lovely. So the first thing you do to get up is you come onto one side like this, and you roll onto the cushion. And again, using the support of the wall. Yeah, you can see me there. Okay. Now, and this is a really lovely, comfortable pose just to hold. Take your time, relax. Okay. And then you gently just press the feet into the wall. And you're pushing yourself up really, 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 really slowly now. Now, this might be as far as you want to come and no further because it's quite strong on the neck. So you're pushing up from just to here. If you can, you might be able to work your hands down your back and gently bring feet up. Yeah, and attempting to get a little bit straighter, but not forcing. Holding for a breath or two, and then if you feel ready, taking yourself back into plow. So with plow, you can have a little block or a cushion behind you where your feet can touch, or a chair. Holding for a few breaths, and then rolling forward. Okay. Back into position. And again, you want to see it a little bit closer. These are hard to demonstrate, these positions. But so your bum is quite up against the wall. Use your feet, push your feet against the wall, slowly, slowly, slowly coming up. I'm looking at the camera, I shouldn't be. Keeping the neck as straight as possible. Working your hands up along the back of the body if you can. Coming up into shoulder stand. Yeah. Back into plow. And then slowly curling out. Whenever you feel ready, and just resting here. And then when you feel ready, just rolling out to one side, really taking your time and coming up very, very slowly, I think is key as well. Okay, so I'm going to demonstrate one last inversion. So that was kind of looking at shoulder stand and then coming off into plow. I'd like to be able to show you that at different angles, but it's a bit tricky moving the camera on myself. It's something we can look at again because I think it would be nice to be able to demonstrate it in person. So the next one we're going to look at is the handstand. And I'm just going to take off my fleece because these inversions do warm up the body as well. They're aerobic, you know, so you probably don't realize that, but they actually kind of are. So I'm going to show a nice variation to handstand without there being too much pressure on the body. And it should be okay showing you from this angle. So we come down onto our hands and knees. My heels are up against the wall. Yeah, I'm gonna just gently come back. This is a lovely variation of downward dog as well. Yeah, with the heels against the wall. So again, enjoying the benefits of a lovely downward dog, benefit of it being an inversion before you do anything else. And then if you fancy taking it a step further, let's begin to walk the feet up the wall. But what we want is a right angle at the hips. Yeah. Okay, and that might be as far as you go. If you want to take it one step further, you could bring one leg up and release, but otherwise, this is enough, really. You couldn't really see the angle perfectly. I might just move it out a little bit so it's a bit of a wider shot. And you can see what I'm doing. So again, back into here, taking a breath in, exhaling, and I'm walking. Just checking you can see. This is one really where I need to be with you to sort of see and give you good guidance. Yeah. And then you could play. Could, but you don't have to. And again, just staying for a couple of breaths and then nice and easy coming back and taking your time, just slowly come back down the wall, I think is key. So that right angle at the hips when you're up, staying for as many breaths as you want. I didn't really stay up for very long and I was really focusing. But when you're coming into it, lots of awareness, grounding down through the hands, and we're less likely to injure ourselves, and only coming as far as we're able for it. Like I said, the downward dog movement using the wall is just as good. So they were the three ones we looked at. So we looked at preparation for headstand, then headstand using the wall, shoulder stand using the wall always, really. Sometimes you're probably able to come into it freestanding. And then plow with or without something for the legs to come back to. And then moving into handstand like we did there. All of those poses really need plenty of time, no rushing. Plenty of, if you're comfortable when you come up into the pose, plenty of time just to hold and stay with your breath. Yeah, but they are kind of practices we have to enter kind of cautiously and when we're fully warmed up. Okay, so from there, after doing all of that kind of work, the best thing probably to do is to kind of come back down, lie down for a few moments and just sort of assess, well, you know, how's the spine feeling? So, you know, just again, get the pillow, come to the floor, take a few moments just to sort of rest and maybe invite a twist. So lying down, you may not want to just draw the knees up into the chest. And maybe working with our lovely twist here, taking a breath in, exhaling. Staying for as long as you want, that particular twist, coming to the other side, and the same thing. I usually place my hand here, and just maybe even press this elbow into the floor, just to allow a little bit more of my shoulders to come to the ground. And when you're ready, then just gently draw the knees in. Maybe a little bit of movement on the floor, see what you need. And then, get yourself ready just to sort of settle for a little bit of relaxation. After a lot of that work, you definitely need time to rest on the floor. And I flew through a lot of those inversions, so kind of done pretty fast. So if you'd like now just to sort of settle down and maybe get yourself ready for a little bit of relaxation, probably be no harm. I'm going to stop this now, and I think what I might do is just do a separate relaxation video. Again, that you can, I'm going to keep it kind of short because I know people, when you're at home, it's very hard just to find an hour or so to practice. I hope this was useful. It was pretty disjointed. But for those of you that are curious about trying headstands and handstands, we will look at this again back in class. We will get that opportunity. But for now, it might just give you that chance to explore them. And again, any questions, feel free to text me or call me. You have my number. Okay, thanks everyone. See you for relaxation.